Hello and welcome back to Nerding Out with Blizzy. It's the very first episode with the new name. Check out all the different socials now. We have changed quite a few of them. Our Twitter is now at nerdout_podcast. Make sure you check that out. YouTube channel is just Nerding Out with Blizzy. Spotify is Nerding Out with Blizzy. So everything else is just normally Nerding Out with Blizzy if you search that. Or sometimes if you just search Nerding Out, it'll pop up. But welcome to episode number 2 of season 2. Little 2-2 action. We have a awesome special guest with us today. Before we get into our special guest and what we're going to talk about, I just want to say thank you all for the support on the first episode of Season 2. It did fantastic on YouTube, I believe, last time I had checked, and it's been a while since I've checked. So as I'm talking right now, I'm going to check it. It was up to about 20-something views, and then we had gained over 5 new subs on the YouTube channel, so I appreciate that. It's up to 30 views, actually, as I'm looking at it. And we've also hit 20 downloads on the new episode, so 20 of you guys have decided to download the episode, so I appreciate you guys. But let's go ahead and get into episode number 2. Again, this podcast is just everything: movies, TV shows, esports, gaming, whatever you want to think about. It's just kind of a mix of everything now. But here we go into episode number 2. Let me go ahead and introduce our special guest. He is, in my opinion, the best Rocket League player that I have seen. That is one of my close friends. I don't have a lot of Rocket League friends that are amazing. He's definitely one of them. He is the best looking man wearing a Blizzy polo. Ladies and gentlemen, Soaped Bar. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
So happy to have you. So happy to have you. I wanted to throw in that best looking man in there with that Blizzy polo because I want you to know that the Blizzy polo is no longer available. So you might have a rare piece of clothing there now with you.
Glad to hear
it. Welcome onto the podcast. I know you're a big Rocket League fan, so we're gonna hit Rocket League pretty hard today. Why don't you go like kind of into detail real quick about like your Rocket League almost career in a way, because I know pretty interesting story with you in college in Rocket League. So
yeah. So I started playing in 2017. Didn't really get into it until like 2018 though. So I went to a local college in Kansas City, or a local high school in Kansas City, and it was right down the road from the first college that I went to, which was Park University. And I knew one of my friends has parents that work at Park University, so they kind of knew a little bit about the esports program, and that's how I found out about that. Ended up signing with the Rocket League team for a year, and then took a semester off and got a coaching position with Missouri Western, which then turned into me playing, and now I'm here.
Nice. Yeah, I knew we talked about it on stream a few times now. It's just, I think it's interesting because like a lot of esports, like colleges wise, I know I went to community college in Springfield, Missouri for 2 years, and they had sent us emails about the fact that they're starting esports, and I just found it extremely interesting that like even high schools I think are doing some, like there's some high school esports nowadays that I'm seeing. And I feel like it's just growing.
Right.
Biggest thing I had seen too is the fact that it's not just one game. Like I feel like it used to be a lot of like one game esports. Now it's, ventured off into Valorant, Rocket League. I'm trying to think like what else, Call of Duty sometimes, but
yeah. The big 3 I think are, I guess 4: League of Legends, Overwatch, now Valorant, and Rocket League.
Yeah, League of Legends was the one I was forgetting. That was the one that almost always has some type of esports. Do they have the college you go to? Do they have other esports, or is it just Rocket League?
Yeah, so the current college that I go to has League of Legends, Overwatch, Valorant, and Rocket League.
Is there any like I'm assuming that they do like tournaments and stuff like that. Is there like, has anybody out of those 3 like won any major championships or anything?
League of Legends has won. They won the league they were in last semester. Outside of that, I don't believe so.
That's not bad though. I mean, do you know how long? Do you know how long they've been around?
Not entirely sure.
I feel like it's probably something. I mean, I'm gonna say probably within the last 5 years for almost every esports type of thing. Because if I'm thinking right, I don't even think Valorant's over 5 years. Maybe it's right at 5 years, probably by now. But so Valorant probably is newer.
Right.
And then I know Rocket League goes, I don't even know how far back. What was the original? Do you know off the top of your head what the original Rocket League name was? Like the game?
So there was a game before it that was Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
It's one of the
that's
greatest
a lot.
names. One of the greatest names of all time.
Yeah,
I've watched a YouTuber that I think he did it on his Xbox like 360. I think he went back and played it or something like that. I don't remember exactly like what he actually did, but he had gone back and played it, and I remember looking at it and I was like, it's crazy where it was then and where it is now.
yeah.
Do you have a esports team that you support in the Rocket League aspect? Because I'm not familiar with it. I have watched a few times, but I'm not like totally familiar with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, so obviously being a Kansas City native, KCP,
Right.
they're an Oceania team, but still support them. Um,
And
outside of that, I love Optic.
okay, I didn't even know they had a
Gotta go
Rocket
with
League team.
them. Yeah, they added one pretty recently, I believe.
Yeah, I followed a little bit of the Kansas City Pioneers kind of like run in the OCE, but I know that, big time difference there. It's their games are
Right.
like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's hard.
crazy.
It's hard to watch theirs, but I do know that they're pretty successful for OCE, from what I understand.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
I think is there another like one other really big OCE team that I'm forgetting? But is it Vitality? Maybe no,
No, it's Ground Zero.
that's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I saw that they had like a match with them or something, and it was hyped up on like the Rocket League Twitter page and stuff like that.
yep.
But I think I enjoyed watching, like when I did watch, of course, one of the most legendary, if not the most legendary commentary clip of This Is Rocket League came from the esports, and I think it's one of the most legendary.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was a pretty good play.
that was how many years ago was that? That had to have been
Oh
years
God.
ago. Because that's in the actual game now, isn't it? As like one of the quick chats.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember watching. I don't think I watched that live, but I remember Twitter freaking out about it, talking about how like big of a what is a commentary that was.
Yeah, I want
Um,
to say that was 2018.
2018. Jeez, and like right now that doesn't feel that long ago, but it's 2023. We're already a
Right.
quarter of a way through 2023. Is there something that you prefer in Rocket League, as in like solos, like 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s?
Um, I'd say I'm more of a 2v2 guy right now.
Is that just so like when I play threes, I hardly ever play threes, but when I play threes, I feel like it's a little hectic. Are you more of a twos person because of the fact that it's just, you and one other person, or is it the fact that, you know, you have to sit there and play threes for if you're doing competitions and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's more of the I'm playing 3v3 all the time,
Right.
so it's just kind of a change from what I'm normally doing.
Yeah, because I mean, it's all 3v3 for competitive, right?
Yes.
For like tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and I
that's what
mean,
I go ahead.
so obviously I know there are some like 1v1 tournaments that some of the casters put on, but
Oh, okay. So it's like a custom tournament type of deal.
yeah.
Gotcha. And is there, in your opinion, I don't know if it's an opinion based or if it's actually like factual. Like I said, I'm not familiar with a lot of, Rocket League esports. Is there one player that's like the scump of Rocket League?
Um,
I know Justin was a big name, but I don't know if he was like amazing, amazing.
as far as like who's won the most, Turbo Pulsa has I think 4 world champions now.
Gotcha. So that's the essential of like the scump of that league, kind of.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Gotcha. And I haven't watched as of recent. Are they doing a current thing right now? Like a current season?
Yeah, so the winter major is coming up. I think yeah, April 6th through the 7th.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That'll be
I know
like that's their next biggest one or whatever.
yeah.
Gotcha. Is there last question I'll ask about Rocket League? Is there like another game in your opinion that matches Rocket League to you? Like, is there another game that you get on and you're like enjoying as much as you do Rocket League, or is it just you're strictly Rocket League?
I am pretty big on Valorant too.
Okay. So have you
Yeah.
been playing a lot of Valorant recently, or just in general? Just if you're not playing Rocket League, it's probably Valorant.
Recently, I haven't really been playing much at all, but um, in the past, if I were to go back maybe a week or two, I'd say Valorant was probably played more than Rocket League.
Okay. Are you making the switch to become a pro?
That's
Yeah.
a stretch.
Come on. You can do it. Does the college you go to have professional Valorant? I don't know if you said that already.
They do have a Valorant team.
There you go. Good try out. You got it. I believe in you. I know
Yeah, we'll see.
I know the Monarchs that I am a part of they have like a U18, I think it is, Valorant team, and I cast it sometimes, and when I'm casting it, I'm like, yeah, I could make this team. And then I watch them
Yeah.
do something insane and I'm like, yeah, never mind. I'm good. I'll just keep casting.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of them, but haven't really watched them play.
Yeah, I think they're going back and starting it up soon because I know I cast, I believe tomorrow. Well, obviously when this podcast comes out for any of those watching, it is not going to be tomorrow, but I cast tonight and tomorrow. So I'm curious. I'm missing out on the Rocket League ones, unfortunately, on casting because they're on Wednesdays, and typically on Wednesdays we have basketball practice up until 6. So
yeah.
I'm coaching my students until about 6:15, 6:30 by the time I get home, and their matches start at 6:30. But I am excited. I get to finally cast the Valorant team. So it's just funny
Yeah.
that those are the two games that you play.
Yeah.
Works out that way. All right, I wanted to go over. First of all, appreciate you going over kind of like your history with Rocket League and stuff, because I personally I play it, but I don't follow the esports side of it a lot, and I haven't really heard anything about it. So that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to talk about, and I know me and you both are streaming and streamers, and stream when we can type of deal. I know busy with school and stuff like that gets in the way quite often.
Right.
There's a big thing going on, and we talk a little bit about this of Twitch versus Kick right now. Which one do you stream on?
So I currently stream on Twitch.
Have you considered the move to Kick?
It's something that I'm very much considering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've streamed on both. I have a tweet right here. I'm gonna go ahead and break this tweet down for you. And for anybody listening, this is from Nick Rich on Twitter at Nick Rich on Twitter. It's instead of an I for Nick, it's a 1. But good friend of mine, part of Kansas City Pioneers. But he made a tweet that said the amount of streamers get per gift bomb on Twitch versus Kick. So 5 gifted on Twitch is $12.50 is how much the streamer gets. Mind you that costs $25 for somebody that gifts it. Kick, you get $23.75. Already a big difference. Think about it again. $25 is how much you pay to gift a streamer 5 subs. Your $23.75 is how much you make on Kick. 10 gifted is you get $25 from Twitch, and you get $47.50 from Kick. 25 gifted, Twitch, you get $62.50. Kick, you get $118.75. 50 gifted from Twitch is $125. But if you get 50 gifted on Kick, it's $237.50. And then the big one, 100 gifted. If you get 100 gifted, it's $250 on Twitch, but it's $475 on Kick. Those
That's crazy.
those are the breakdowns of that's just gifted, like gifted subs.
Right.
I'm curious to see in the future, like from what I've seen, and I could be completely wrong at the time of recording this, I don't really know for sure, but I don't think Kick does anything like bits. I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw something. I think they're looking to add something like that, but I don't think they have it yet.
Okay, that's what I didn't know if they had that yet, if they were adding it, but so Twitch's only 2 ways of real income is gifted and then obviously just subs. But
Right.
if you look at the 5 gifted already, $12.50 is what you get from Twitch, $23.75. Again, that's $25. So
Right.
I don't know. The stuff that I've seen has been pretty crazy. Have you I know you have considered it. Is that the main reason, or is the main reason just the fact that you think, Twitch might fall off?
It's a big reason is that split. Um, I think it's tough because I know there are people that don't want to like have an account on Kick, even if they're not like a streamer.
Right.
I think it's the things they've seen on Twitter, and I think Nick posted about it the other day, and somebody commented on it and was talking about how it's a front for a gambling website and all that. Just a
Yeah.
lot of misinformation, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think social media is kind of like painting, and that's what I actually said this yesterday on stream. Is like I was streaming on Twitch yesterday, but I was talking to my chat and I was saying, I would definitely make the switch to Kick. It's just you've seen all these things of people watching porn on Kick. People are pulling up the entire Super Bowl and watching the Super Bowl on Kick. So
Right.
it's like I don't know what my that becomes a worry for me because then like does Kick protect you? Let's say again if the Super Bowl is happening and I want to stream it on Kick because Aiden Ross is streaming it on Kick. Like, is there something protecting me if the NFL comes at me for it, or like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just like I don't know how like the behind the scenes of Kick yet.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure either.
For like Twitch though, you're always the only thing I don't like I mean there's a lot of things I don't like about Twitch, but mainly the thing is that it always has DMCA, so at least I know that that's why my
Yeah.
VODs are getting taken down and stuff like that.
Right.
But with Kick, like you said, you're seeing these things on Twitter that have negative towards it, so I don't really. It's hard for me to switch yet,
Yeah.
and I don't know. What is your opinion on like some of these big streamers? I know you've seen Aiden Ross switch. They're announcing apparently 5 new streamers by the time this podcast is out. They probably have already announced it, but what's your opinions on like the bigger streamers switching over?
I think it will definitely bring more people over, and I don't know, maybe change their views on like how Kick is operated and all that. But I think we'll have to see.
Do you see Twitch at all switching what they do? Like switching,
Uh,
maybe more in favor of streamers making more money off of gifteds or just subs in general, or do you think Twitch stays the same?
I think if it becomes a problem with viewership and the viewership dips that much, I think it could change how Twitch looks at it. But
Yeah, and I feel
can't
like
really say.
I feel like Twitch right now is like the highest tier of like that's your go to. Like I know when I get on my PC, my go to is either YouTube or Twitch.
Right.
And if I'm going YouTube, I'm obviously going for videos. I don't really go to watch live streams, but if I'm going to Twitch, obviously it's only live streams, and I typically go and find either the people I follow already or try to find the category I like.
Yeah.
And I've seen with Kick too, and I don't know if you've kind of noticed this. Actually, funny enough, with again bringing up Nick's name again, he was like on the cover of like or the featured streams or whatever. And sometimes when I go in the featured stream section, they typically are not just like viewers or people with 60,000 viewers. It's recommending like people with maybe like 40 or 50.
Right.
Where Twitch, that's I think the biggest complaint with Twitch is how hard it is to get discovered on Twitch.
Yeah. Well, and I think Nick had also tweeted, or maybe I was in a stream and he talked about it, but I think he said he was like the 10th streamer on the COD category on Kick, whereas on
Yeah,
Twitch he'd be like 3 pages down or something like that.
right. Yeah, it's the discoverability. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
with it still being, I streamed the other day. I streamed MLB The Show on it, and there's not a lot of people streaming MLB The Show right now because there's not a lot of streamers on that platform.
Yeah.
And so I know whenever I was streaming it, I had probably about 6, sometimes even 10 viewers, strictly because there's not very many people streaming it. So I think the discoverability right now on Kick is like now's the chance if you want to become big on this platform and this platform does take off. Now's your chance.
Right.
I think it's just a lot of like you said. Nick was 10th on the Call of Duty list, which is a big game, but all it did was take him to just stream on a different platform. The
Yeah.
discoverability goes right up. Is there anything like stream wise that you think that Kick is gonna do, or even that maybe Twitch might do to bring back their viewerships or anything?
Um, I don't really know what else Kick could do. other than maybe adding bits. But
Right.
I think if Twitch wants to keep their viewership up and keep their streamers that they have signed, then they're gonna have to change something with the sub split.
Yeah, I think their biggest problem right now, I agree with you, is definitely like sub split.
Yeah,
They still have like big streamers, Shroud, XQC, Nick Merckx, all of them are still like streaming for them, but like I don't think it's gonna be long before some of them consider the switch.
yeah,
I don't remember I don't know if I was who I was talking to in chat about it, but talked about subathons. Ludwig did a huge subathon. I believe it was Hondi's I was talking about this with. But you're seeing all these people. Ludwig do a big stream. He did his subathon, and then not even long after, he ended up switching to YouTube. Kai Cenat, who just did a big time subathon that has showed interest on switching.
yeah,
So it's like, I think it's because subathon for a big streamer, they make a lot of money.
right.
So that's why they make a lot of money. But if you think about that, you do a subathon on Kick, where if you get 100 gifted, you're making almost all of that money. Maybe you're losing $25 compared to $200.
Yeah,
I think it's just like you said. I think it's crazy that's what Twitch has got to do to keep its platform up.
yep.
But all right, I think other than that, man, I feel like we hit that pretty hard. And then talking about the esports thing again, very interested. I hardly ever talk about Rocket League, so I think it's always very interesting to talk about it and to get some more knowledge on the topic.
Yeah,
But
I love talking about it.
I appreciate you coming on to the podcast. Is there any socials or Twitch or anything like that you want to plug before we end it?
Twitch.tv/soapbar. That's about it.
Awesome. Well, if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening to this on, make sure you go follow him on there. On YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, I will have it linked down below. So be easy for you just to click one little button and drop him a follow. But other than that, Soaped, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Nerding Out with Blizzy, and I'll see you guys next time.